Tenzin, welcome to the Exploratoirum.
Thank you. 아니 어서 드링 델리아 아니 엑스플로토리움이야 레어래.
Yeah, you know, we were looking at that really cool exhibit, Walking on Water. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had some questions about it, and I wanted to show you how to understand that.
Okay. 아니 단지 어서 월이야 엑스플로토리움이야 아니 슈갈이야 공부하기 아니 따지죠래. 딜이야 아니 코란기 따지 간데스 내가 지고 있는데 코란기 드링 좀 yes.
And it was a really good experiment to stop on because it's one of my favorite experiments. In fact, something that led me to the experiment changed my life.
Okay. 아니 다른기 따지에 대한 게라 코란이야 아니 시우지 아니 니마 중도가리야 아니 세리리야 임슈에기 아니 따지 계신부치 차대요 코란 디치네 코란기 디나리야 엑스플로토리움나리 요딩이기 따지에 나로네 아니 따지 가슈디 코란 단데 따지디 yes.
So, you know, I've been a teacher for 41 years working with children. And 23 years ago, when I came to the Exploratorium, I met this very famous physicist. I wanted to show you this experiment because this experiment actually made me want to be a science teacher.
Koran Tongma Delia Exploratoirum Ledu Samba Digi Taji Digi any Koran Tongma Sidilia Ing Shue di any Taji Ditone Ing Shu Shosons.
So Maurice was a particle physicist who actually worked with Einstein, but he was of the belief that we could best learn by doing things with our senses, by touching, by doing.
Digablian Korangi and Taji di any Exploratoirum Le Yoding any Siri Keba any Maurice Lia and Korangi Taji Ditobayes. Tendu samba ani Koran yema Maurice Koran ani Einstein yemdo ani challenge na New York ani Koran ngogam seri ki nalaya today kolya taji chine de dress seri kochi.
So after I showed it to him, he actually was quite surprised to say, you know, your explanation is wrong.
Ani Koran ki taji de Koran le dimdo shudu samba ani Koran ki kan ki taji de ki taji de de norjas lagutos.
And then I was said, well, what do you mean? I actually went to a book and I showed him the explanation that I gave him.
And then Korangi tem nanglolia, that seri taji digi, and Tisha Karimedi, any Koralia, Tiobayes, Marislia, Taji di Tisha Dires.
And I said, he said, you're wrong anyway.
Ani Korangi, the Delia Tiovin, Temnalia Tiovin, and he can't Tisha the Norshas Latos.
Then I went on the internet and I showed him that answer, and he said, you're still wrong.
And then Korangi, Yanga, Internet Taganalia Chinche, any
So I became very aggravated. I said, okay, so what is the answer, Maurice? He said, I don't know. But he said, let's try and find out together. So he and I did this experiment, and we worked at it for actually several hours to find out what was the real answer. And this process actually changed the way I taught. So we decided that most experiments should come up with something to engage the student. We use a Spanish word called provocación, which means to provoke.
Spanish nanglolia ani provocation and takonzogi tachi tioleb de rochi tioshat lolia shat de rochi.
So I'm going to give you the provocación. I'm going to ask you to do something. I want, yes? So you're going to grab some amount of water. We're going to practice, okay?
Okay.
Grab some water, put the card over this, then you're going to go over my head, and then you're going to let go.
Okay. 아니 추디 렌시 아니 디갈이야 슈디 아까 안데네 gelangora go alkeji ani alogyam share shoot.
And remember, tell him, I do not get angry. I just get even.
세상 아니 코라 디다제 제가 걸리 코라 농랑이면서 코라 때디 코라 가족 쇼 용고도 간다.
Okay? So try it. Stand up. Stand up, please.
딱 얘가 보는 거 출루인다.
Remember? Wow. Get over there. That's enough. So, isn't that amazing?
Yeah. So
This heavy water is held by this very light card.
진짜 때디 항상에라도 왔어. 디나올이야 추지고 사우디 아니 슈우디 까지 되어서 슈우디 야까지 되어서 추디 강사.
So, I asked him, well, you know, I said this was about air pressure. And he said, you're right.
진짜 호랑이 디갑리야 디 룽기 뉴슈 갱게레 라위스. 호랑이 디더레스 뉴 룽기 뉴슈 데 제가 차디어스.
And I said that water is sticky. And he said, you're right.
아니 호랑이 찍할라 김제지 가르시엔스는 디갑리야 아니 디 추디 아니 추코라리야 자레기 누거죠라 홀로마인도 좀 쉐링도 좀 거기 자레기 누거지 자르바레스.
And the idea that, this is very cool. Where's the bottle? This is a model. Hopefully I have the right bottle. Thank you. So this is 1 liter of water, and water weighs 1 kilogram.
디 디나리아 출리르지 다다 숑고레 출리르지리야 아니 되제 니 킬로그램 지요레스.
And if I were to put a little square centimeter weight on it and put it on your body, can you feel the weight? Please.
진짜 기지 디나리아 추 킬로 지요레스. 아니 기지 디 강레야 아니 센티미터 투시마치 샤 아니 디 아고 yap샤베는 센티미터 투시마디 강레야 아니 킬로 지기 뉴슈디어바스. 다리 니도 고가 샤베는.
So it's a good model for that. Now, so I said, look, 1 centimeter, 1 kilogram. The area of this circle has many centimeters, so I would think there'd be lots of kilograms of pressure.
진짜 디 외에는 따디갈이야 센티미터 투시마 먹고 쉬어요. 그래서 선바다 디 강라 예면은 아니 따 지고 쉬우 뉴슈 쉬우 레고 그래서 디갈이면은.
So I said that water is sticky, air is heavy. We have an answer.
진짜 추디 아니 콜 자레기 누거죠, 봐. 아니 아니
The water is sticky, air is heavy. We now have an explanation of why this does not fall.
진짜 출리야 자레기 누거지 여버치 아니 롱리야 지제주도 선바 디기 마사고 말했어. 그런 게 시작이었어.
But then he said, Modesto, you haven't done nothing to this cup. Air pressure is the same. You need to have a pressure change. You have not explained that to me.
진짜 그런 게 아니 그런 로봇이 갈로 쓰는다. 그냥 이 디갈이야 슈가 가버면도 딜이야 디낭로리야 교역에 태요 말했어. 교역 마테도 선바 아니 디낭로리야 교역에 마데베 토니 디 용토 말했어. 출이야 까지 내줘로 디 용토 말했어.
Okay, you try it. Try to see what happens. Try different experiments. So what do you do? Tell us what you're doing right now.
So I'm putting a little bit of water.
Okay. Okay. Go. It's amazing. What do you notice?
Little bit of water coming out.
Yes, please. Okay, now try another experiment. So this is little water. What do you want to try now?
Maybe full of water.
Try full of water. That's amazing, isn't it? And you still notice some water coming out though. Okay, so let's try no water. By the way, you can continue doing many experiments, and I would suggest that you do this if you had more time.
Okay. 세상에다 기술 소설이야 두수 옆에는 다디 간드레 연구에나 삼체다 디 추망용을 따지디 간주면 치는 디그레스. 안다 기타 개개 매매톤을 따지시기.
Yeah, so it's sticky, but not that sticky.
야. 진짜디 축이 디 잘잘기도 아니네. 그 축이야 잘지 되기도 왔어.
So you should now know the answer, right?
진짜 단다 랜디 하고 고고로 봤어.
No. So here's the deal.
진짜
So
랜디 안에 태요 말했어. 랜디.
we, it took us many thousands of years to get to the idea of air pressure.
진짜 롱기 뉴슈 콜이야. 뉴슈 되게 콜이 디시 게디 아니 로 돈다 망고시 코르레스 랭게 알이야.
So we're going to go through one idea is that we have an airspace here, right?
진짜 디낭로리야 롱기 아니 다
Okay. And now we're going to close the airspace by putting a rubber glove around it. Please help me. You can say that.
진짜 디낭리야 롱기 남가 왔다 롱기 동제셔로 롱기 사지 심디어로
So can any air come in or out?
no
So please.
진짜 디낭로리야 따디 기글 슈디오도 삼바야 디낭로리야 롱야 얘도 말도 치세요 말했어 디낭리야.
Okay, that is, I think, a left-handed glove, right-handed glove. So put it in there. Now, I want you to look at what goes on here. That's put it in there and look at what happens.
디낭리야 따디 라고 예외게 슈디르다 디낭리야 라고 유도 삼바 아니 가르치 중국도 시야.
What's going on?
I think the gloves are sticking together.
They're flattening out.
Flattening out.
Yes.
시장에 딱 랑슈디 라고 막 유도 삼바 랑슈디 카소미 용어도 왔어.
Okay. So this is actually called Boyle. Boyle was a physicist hundreds of years ago. And
gas 콜이야 아니 세리버 보일기 아니 디디시 캐버레스.
And this is the principle of pressure. This says that if you have a space that's closed and you make that space bigger, the pressure increases inside that space.
딱 기생 아저기 딱 동자지기 낭로리야 아니 동자디기 야견디 아니 체로 땅바이나 디 낭로기 눈슈디 총도 그랬어. 디난시 동자디기 야견디 총 땅바이나 디 낭로기 눈슈디 체로도 그랬어.
Okay,
근데
now
그런게 보일기 디시 예레스.
put that on.
딱 랑슈디 아주 그래로.
Okay, let's put it inside. All right. Almost. Help me? Yes. All right. So, now, can you guess, what is the law that Boyle says about air pressure? Repeat it one more time to me in English.
So when the space increases, there's decreasing pressure. And when the space.
Wait, that's all. So when the space increases inside a closed system, the air pressure increases. Now make a fist, and you're going to pull out. Now before we do this, what do you think is going to happen if the glove comes out? What happens to the space inside? The space inside, does it get bigger or smaller?
Smaller.
When you pull out, look at that space.
It's getting bigger.
Bigger. What do you think is going to happen to the pressure? Now, you don't know, but you just see if you can make a guess.
Decrease.
Let's try it. And look at that. It actually does decrease. The pressure, you pulled up, made a big system, and this is going down instead of going up. The air pressure from the top is greater, making this go down.
Okay. 지생에 딱 디낭리야 당분이야 시담 디낭로리야 딱 동제저로 디낭로리야 유학이 테마 당이 라바디야 뚜두 삼바야 디낭로기 동제디 망루고레스 망루도 삼바 디낭로기 뉴슈디 충조도 삼바 치로기 뉴슈디 망아이도 삼바 디낭로 기기게 마 낭로리 뒤용고도.
Yeah, so it's a lot. I mean, 1 kilogram per centimeter squared, that's a lot of pressure. In fact, we have over, 10,000 kilograms over our body.
진짜 말아주기 수비 리뷰 고갈리베나 킬로그램 동다지 티지스 요레스다 룽기 뉴슈저로티.
Okay, now pull it out. Open up your hands. Look how much it's pushing.
진짜 디 라고야 틴투선 텐도고면도
That's all pushing from the outside.
진짜 디게 슈망 슈갱이 가르는 치로기 뉴슈디기 마 나몰 슈기.
Keep on going. Pull. Good. So now, we now have enough information for you to try to figure this out again. So let's look at it one more time. Do it.
다 연계시 딱이 있어. 당진열이 양아주 슈고디 강리 추디 되게미 슈디하고 문제 가립니다.
Okay. So by the way, the other thing I like about this is it's using materials that are very inexpensive.
진짜 따지들이 믹스지 가서는 가라 따지들이야 그거 되는 게 아니 요새 되게 정말 라디오 식으로 했어.
Okay, let's try it. Let's try one more thing. So let go. So what's happened to the airspace now?
Increase.
Yes, the airspace is getting bigger. So we now know from Boyle's law what happens to the pressure when the airspace gets bigger.
Pressure decreases.
Yes. And how much does it decrease?
Same.
Just enough to have equilibrium.
진짜 이 능력이 추디데스 마사이고도 사두 삼바야 이 능력이 동제디 체주로 롱고 동제디 체주도 삼바 아니 치료기 능슈셔로 거다 능력이 능슈니 직접 차야 된다리 아니 군인이 전염돼 체도 아니 기 슈구도 따다 기리에 되되오라 슈까지.
So stand up. So if I had all my friends from all the monks and nuns from over there on one line, and you put lean on me. If I had them all there, lean,
lean,
more pressure. Just don't move. I would sustain all the nuns and monks. We would be in equilibrium.
진짜 기지 가서 인상뭐 찍찍이야 뽕보 투지 되요나 아니 기지 가서 파수 구격에 매비나 가서 바라리야 아니 칼로레 땅뇽도 질 되어서 천뇽 슈디 천뇽이어서
So I would be pushing as much as all of them together.
진짜 코란도 상당히 수 게라갈이 가서 비교했던 거는 게라갈이 수 비교된 거라서.
And this is the important part. I would be pushing more than individual nuns and monks.
진짜 이내 코란 게라 코란이 슈 게야디 아니다 이는 막 미카시 지어베나 미디게 차 제레기 슈 게야기 세디단 두베나 게라 코란 슈 망가 예거라서.
But together we're in equilibrium.
진짜 천뇽 지 용서 통이 쉐베나 아니 아주 천뇽 갈 때여서.
This is very important, okay?
진짜 디 계속 슈 차대여서 천뇽 내주로 땅뇽이야 대토에.
Okay, so in science, it's one of the few subjects where people don't repeat, they don't have iterations. It's important to repeat and so we can learn.
진짜 제일 낭로를 연배는 땅 알아서 로션 가르쳐야 있는 디게디 양게 따지 제고 그랬다.
Here, so take a cup of water, and I'll take a cup of water. And we're going to try an experiment that many of you tried in restaurants, and that is you take the straw, put it all the way into the bottom. You're going too fast, and then you cover it, and then you pull up. And tell me what you observe.
Drop.
A drop. Where is that drop coming from?
From inside.
Yes, and what is happening to the airspace?
It's increasing.
Yes, because the water is coming out. Is there any air coming in there?
No.
So the pressure in there is happening. What is it going up or down?
Pressure is going down.
That's right. Please tell.
죄송합니다. 디낭리아 추디 디젤리아 하르도스 당문이야. 제딜리아다 슈티고 디스 마사이고도 사이도 삼바 디낭로기 동체디 아니 망두고레스 페루도 삼바 아니 디낭로기 뉴슈디 충하샤 아니 치로기 뉴슈디 야 따다 천염도 있어요 거라. 수도 삼바 추디 마사지 따다 디고레스. 그냥 그 낭로기 룽도서요 말로.
So say that. So now what we have is this air pressure pushing up, and we have this water pushing down. And at the beginning, you had air pressure also pushing down, but it got bigger, so the pressure dropped, so that the weight of this plus this is equal to this.
진짜 치로니 룽기 뉴슈지야 여러와. 아니 디낭로리면은 추기 마슈지게 거라. 디나시 디강 추강을 여링이 룽디기 당긴 거만 있는 마슈지게 거라. 때는 당긴 거매기 룽디 룽디기 뉴슈디 충도도 삼바다 디당 이니기 슈디 dom체 아니 치로니 야게 슈슈라 군인이 천염차도 거랬어. 군이 천염차도 삼바 아니 슈구디기 당기 슈구도 다 당기 추디 마마사오시 따달 하데디 디긴기 하디 거랬어.
So I have a question. If you went in the space shuttle and there was no gravity and you try this experiment, would this work?
Maybe not.
Well, what's interesting is gravity is pulling water down here. With no gravity, it may be different in space, and with no zero gravity.
Okay.